Hello and welcome to the afternoon market update from Nirmal. I'm Nirmal. Overall, if you go to see, we did have a spectacular opening in today's day of trade. A gap up opening is what we saw, pretty much mirroring what we were seeing on SGX Nifty as well. We started off at levels of almost around 9,150. However, as the day passed on, we have given up those early morning gains. However, one positive is that we have continued to trade in the green. Right now, if you go to see in terms of Nifty as well, we are trading at levels of around 9,089. So we have given up almost around 65 to 70 points from the day's highest levels. Clearly, if you go to see, we did hit a day's high of 9,161 in intraday day so far, and a low of around 9,070 is what we hit. So right now we're pretty much at the day's lowest levels in terms of trade, but in the green. Clearly, if you see in terms of the Sensex as well, a similar trend and pattern is what we've seen. Right now on the Sensex as well, we are at levels of around a little over 30,800 points with gains of around 0.5% coming on that front. Overall, if you go to see, Bank Nifty is clearly outperforming the benchmark indices in trade as we started off the day. Even in afternoon trade right now, you have Bank Nifty, which is up a little over 1.5%. We are seeing at levels of around 11,550 is what we are tracking on Bank Nifty. So financials is something which is pretty strong in today's session. Moving away from the financials as well, overall, if you see the broader markets, it's a pretty, a lackluster move on that front, though we are still in the positive. We are mirroring what's happening on the benchmark indices, wherein the mid-cap index is outperforming the small-cap index, which is seeing gains of around 0.4%, whereas the mid-cap index is up in the range of around 0.6% to around 0.8%. Overall, if you see in terms of different sectors as well, an interesting trend that we're picking up on the on the sectoral front as well. Overall, if you go to see right now in terms of the sectors, you have media which has been trading under pressure, IT which has been trading under pressure. However, you still have the metal index which remains the top gainer so far. In terms of the metal index as well, you have JSW Steel, which is the top gainer, and again it's reacting in terms of where numbers go. But apart from that, if you see in terms of the other sectors, you have basic material, which is seeing gains of a little over 2% on BSE. You have FMCG, which is trading in the positive. Apart from that, you have smart gains coming in terms of utilities as well as the auto space. Telecom is taking a beating on BSE as well, which is down a little over 3.5%. Consumer durables, metals, you have power, oil and gas, all of these sectors are trading in the positive. So it's mainly technology, it's mainly Telecom. These are few of the major names, which are taking a beating in today's day of trade. Let's quickly move across to individual stocks as well. On Nifty 50, if you go to see, you have JSW Steel, Eicher Motors, Ultratech Cement, Titan, Indices Bank, Hindalco. These are few of the top gainers coming in on Nifty 50. Whereas on the losing end, you have Bharti Airtel, Bajaj Finserv, TCS, Hero MotoCorp, Z Entertainment, as well as an HDFC. HDFC is clearly reacting to the quarterly numbers, and the stock is down almost 1.5%. On BSE 500, you have stocks like TVS, Sri Chakra, Bayer, Crop Science, again reacting on numbers. Adani Power, Birla Corporation reacting on numbers. JSPL, Jindal Steel Power, JSW Steel, and Godrej Industries. These are few names which are seeing smart gains. Whereas you have GMM Pfaudler, which is the top loser on BSE 500, again on the back of the weak set of numbers. That stock is down a little in the range of 6 to 7%. Avenue Supermart is down in trade, again on the back of numbers. Reliance Power, Reliance Capital, Reliance Infra, all the Reliance Anil Ambani group companies have been trading under pressure. And you have Aavas Financiers, which is down in trade. Let's see what stocks are hitting a 52-week high or low. So on Nifty 50, you have a Cipla, which has hit a 52-week high in today's day of trade. So that's an interesting move that we're picking up. Whereas if you see on the broader markets as well, you have Aurobindo Pharma, Bayer Crop Science, Coromandel International, Lupin, India Cement. So again, it's the pharma pack, which is pretty much in action in this time of grief in terms of COVID-19. But on the losing end, you have DCB Bank, Indiabulls, Integrate, Nesco, Power Finance, Repco Home Finance, Schaeffler, Suntech Realty. These are few names that have hit a 52-week low in today's day of trade. So overall, if you go to see, the moves are pretty lackluster. Though we have seen a gap up opening, we have managed to stay in the green, and that's one positive sign that we have been picking up so far. And pretty much the Asian cues have been pretty much positive, and that's one of the reasons why we did see this kind of a positive opening. Overall, if you go to see right now, it's going to be interesting to see how the latter part of the day pans out as well. It is a truncated week. Yesterday was a holiday. So overall, the sentiment from here on is going to be crucial as to what pans out what are the kind of cases that erupt in terms of COVID-19, because as we know, the number of cases on a daily basis have been increasing in India, and that's something which could be having a negative sentiment on the markets as well. But overall, in terms of individual stocks as well, you have SpiceJet, which is resumed domestic passenger flight operations. So that's another stock that is in focus on. Indigo is in focus on as well on the back of the domestic flights that have resumed. Apart from that, Glenmark Pharmaceutical is expected to test 2 antiviral drugs, that is favipiravir as well as umifenovir, as potential COVID-19 treatment strategy. So that's one stock that we are focusing on in today's day of trade. Automobile Global has acquired 25% equity stake in Technologies Robo. So that's a stock that we are focusing on. Trident is in focus. HIL, Deepak Fertilizer has forayed into the sanitizer segment. In fact, we're hearing of a lot of companies that have been focusing into PPE kits, into sanitizing, into hygiene material. So that's probably going to be a new trend of business that we are going to see that could be evolving as well as a separate segment, especially for FMCG companies, especially for pharma companies as well. And you have ITC, which has entered an agreement to acquire 100% stake in Sunrise Foods. So these are few of the newsmakers of the day as well. But how the day pans out, whether we manage to stay in the green in the second half of the trading session or not, is something that we need to wait and watch from here on. How Europe pans out, as well as what trends US futures are also indicating. But that's all that we have in the afternoon market update from Nirmal Bang. Thank you for watching. You could subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you.